Welcome to Rosten Reviews.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to Rosten's Reviews. My name is Mr. Rosten, and I am the Cluster 6-1 Social Studies teacher here at BMS, and we are back for Season 4 of Rosten's Reviews. This is amazing. I'm so excited. So I'm just checking, making sure that everything is up to snuff and ready and raring to go. Making sure... Looks like my mic's not on, which is a problem. I think my internal mic is on, but my other mic is not. So we're going to connect it right now and turn her on. Let's see. Well, my internal mic's on because the little thing's good. Now it's off. Now it's on. All right, let's see. There we go. Now we got the good mic up. We're ready and raring to go. So for those of you that don't know, Rosten's Reviews was a weekly show, and then it turned into a bi-weekly show because I felt like, doing one every week was a little stressful. Especially once my son started kindergarten. I have to get home and get him off the bus. So, we have to make changes. So this will be a bi-weekly show, which means every 2 weeks. And we'll review what we did in social studies. All right. So to start off, welcome to all our new viewers and subscribers. It's a pleasure to have you here. We missed you. We love you. Welcome back. Anyway, so what did we learn in social studies? Well, it's been a packed month of stuff, and it's been kind of crazy. So let's kind of jump into it, shall we? I'm going to move right on over here. So, ladies and gentlemen, first thing we did in social studies was we did some get-to-know-yous, right? We did our schedule. We did our classroom routines. So everybody knows when you come into my room, the first thing you do is you find your seat, you take out your Chromebook, you open up Google Classroom, you look at the homework board to make sure that if there's homework or not. You look at the important info wall, and then the quote of the day, and then by that point, everybody should be in, settled, ready, and raring to go. So that's how we get our day started in social studies. Depending on what type of assignment we're doing, you'll be either using your interactive notebook, which is right here on the screen. You'll notice here, we did a couple of activities. We have our cover page, which you decorated any way you liked. We also did a get to know you activity. And then we shared out with our peers to get to know each other a little bit, which was nice. And I'm just bringing up, since nobody's watching, which is cool. Okay, no problema. All right. Then we learned how to write an email properly. There it is. Then we did a fun Twitter profile where you filled in about your socials. We did cool things like what are your career goals, what are your study habits, your favorite and least favorite subjects. Just again, another get to know you. And then we started jumping into the actual social studies stuff, right? So we first learned the difference between primary and secondary sources, and we completed this fun activity here, which my computer is so slow and I apologize. So we learned that a primary source is a person, publication, or object from a time period or event, right? And a secondary source is a person, publication, or object that gives us information on the time period or event after it happened. So we did all this little scenarios. We learned about the primary and secondary sources, and we figured it out. Then we jumped into one of my favorite activities, which is the 5 themes of geography. So if you recall, there are 5 themes, right? We're just moving and grooving here. There is location, movement, region, human environment interaction, and place. Okay? Otherwise known as Mr. Help, right? So we learned about the 5 themes. We learned about how they impacted humans, right? And as we talk about the different units and we go through, we're really going to touch on the 5 themes of geography and how these things impacted the different civilizations. All right, next thing we learned was artifact analysis. All right, so we learned how to analyze artifacts. There are 3 steps to analyzing artifacts. Step number 1 is we meet the artifact and we try to figure out what it's made out of. Once we figure out what it's made out of, it helps us to figure out what time period we are looking at. All right. Then we observe the artifact. We write down things like size, shape, color, texture, all that jazz. And I'm sorry, it just seems like, no, we're good. Sorry. Size, shape, color, texture, is there anything written on it? And we're trying to observe it because we're trying to figure out on step 3 what it's made, what it is, what its purpose was, and what it tells us about the people, right? So that's how we analyze artifacts. We did a virtual dig, and it was awesome, and we had a good time, and we learned about that. We followed that up with some continents and oceans, so we learned about the 7 continents and 5 oceans. And then we took a quiz, which was a quiz. You know, it's an assessment. It had to be done. We had to get it out of the way. So it was a 20 question quiz. It had things like identifying primary and secondary sources. It had the 5 themes of geography and the continents and oceans. And then we started our first historical investigation, right? Our first HIQ. So for those of you who are new to 6th grade social studies, each unit we have a different historical investigation. And I'm going to get off of the screen here and make myself, there we go. Our HIQs are a deeper look into a time period or an event in each unit, right? So we have 7 units. We're going to have 7 different HIQs. And basically it gives myself and the kids a way to dive deeper and get some extra knowledge on, like I said, a certain topic or event in history. So this HIQ is on Ötzi the Iceman. He is the oldest mummy ever discovered. He's over 5,300 years old. He was found in the Italian Alps. And we're learning about him and what it tells us about people from his time period. So I can't give too much away because, you know, we are investigating. So next Rosten Reviews will dive a little bit deeper into Ötzi and what we know and what we don't know. But let me tell you, your kids have been doing awesome with figuring some stuff out about Ötzi the Iceman. So that's it for the first episode back of Rosten's Reviews. In case y'all didn't know, students, I send your parents every week or every 2 weeks a little update about what we did in social studies this week. I send them, you know, the assignments that we did, some questions they can ask you. So hopefully we'll start to transition those into these videos here and make make it a little bit easier. So that's it. That's all I got for you this week. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Be kind to one another. Peace be with you and with you. Rosten, out.